people would say, if Jim was around now, would he be clean and sober? And I always used to say no. I changed that answer. I think he was a smart guy. It's a different time. Maybe so. And then we would have done some films and music. Because, Ray and Jim met in film school. Okay, I'm going to start setting up my drums. Go ahead, Anthony.
While on that subject of self-destruction, and Ray used to had invented this character or named this character Jimbo. That there was Jim, the poet, the artist, visionary, and then there was Jimbo, the kind of wild-eyed, drunk, the king of outrage. And, you guys were always having to sort of walk that line, not necessarily sure who's going to show up at any particular moment. I wonder if you could just describe that, that emotional journey a little bit of trying to sort that out.
Maybe that's why my hair is so gray. It was a strain. And also, I knew there was magic. First time I heard Ray, first time I met Jim, he was so shy he couldn't even sing. And Ray hands me a piece of paper. Day destroys the night, night divides the day, try to run, try to hide, break on through. Holy shit, where are my drums? I don't know. I just heard rhythm with those words. So, I forgot your question.
You're sort of walking that emotional, terrain, trying to deal with these essentially two characters.
Yeah. Well, he certainly wasn't phoning it in live. That was part of the excitement, part of the reason my hair got gray and I had a rash for a couple of years. What is he going to do tonight? Oh, and everyone else could sense it too. So, I don't know. I guess it was a ritual, some kind of Greek tragedy or whatever.
Well, there certainly was that sense of, catharsis or something, like he would show up. We were talking backstage for a few minutes, and I was saying that I saw the Doors 3 times, and the first 2 times were just spellbinding. I mean, one at Hunter College and once at the Fillmore East, and the shows were just so focused and just everything that you would want the Doors to be. And then, there was a show at Singer Bowl out in Queens, and that, for one reason or another, the Who were the opening band. It was a really hot night. There were lots of delays, and the police were all over the situation. Kind of, we were talking about Los Angeles before too, and it seemed like it was just it turned into something like a riot. And I was just kind of wondering about, it was one thing to be in the audience for it, but what is it like on stage at a moment like that?
The Singer Bowl was a mess. First of all, let's go back to LA. There's no riots in LA. There was some peaceful protests, very important, and then there's these fringe jerks who put a car on fire, and then everybody thinks there's a riot, and we got to send in the troops. That's an exaggeration. Excuse my politics. Tell me again what you want out of me.
Just that sense of what is it like to be on stage when a show like the Singer Bowl kind of goes off the rails.
Like when we had our first big quote riot backstage, Jim said, "Well, we've done that. Let's go to an island and start over." Which, I mean, that there's a guy who wants his creativity pure, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna do something here.